All right, we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Dave Kettner here with a very special training we have. It is our full day, the first time we've ever done this, which is a 8-hour plus live online training just for our team. And we had so many people that weren't going to be able to travel to come to a live event, so we decided to do this Saturday event. And I was just chatting here with Justin Aquilia, who's going to be our first speaker, who I'll introduce here in a second. But I was just telling this is the first time that I can't remember the last time I've been awake with it still being dark outside and have to get up this early for something other than going to the airport to be catching a flight or whatnot. So anyway, we're doing this because, and I was in the shower actually thinking this morning, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why are we doing this so early? But the thing is, we're doing this because this is something that I know that you guys need, and this is going to help take your businesses to the very next level. And we have just an amazing day of presenters out here that we have scheduled here for today. And the strategies that you're going to be learning are what we are personally putting into our business right now, and what other internet marketers, not just Amazon sellers, but internet. We were just talking with Justin here a second ago, but this will work for any kind of internet marketing that you're going to promote too. But we're specifically talking here about Facebook ads and delivering Amazon coupon codes with one-time use codes. Anyway, if you haven't heard Justin speak before, you're going to be in for a treat today. But I just want to give you a little quick overview of what the day is going to look like, and then we're going to jump right into it because I don't want to waste any time here that's allotted for Justin. But we're going to start with Justin Aquilia. He's going to be going for about an hour and a half here this morning. And just so you know, every time we have a presenter that goes here today, we're going to have the questions at the end. So go ahead and you can post your questions. I see a lot of people saying good morning there and hello from all over the world, which is awesome. And thank you guys for being on this early. So go ahead and you post your questions in there, and then we'll address that. We'll get Justin to answer those and do as much as he could in the time we have allotted. I actually added Justin now. He's in our team group as well, and he's very graciously said that he will answer questions in our team group as well. So Justin, welcome to our team, and thank you for offering to do that. After that, we have Chris Guthrie is going to be going. He's going to share a new software that he's put together. I believe that he's going to provide it to our team as well. So that will be after Justin. And then after that, we have Jason Potash is going to go. And, I'm just actually getting to know Jason. He's been an internet marketer for about 13, 14 years now, since like 2002, 2001. And he's got some great content today that's going to be teaching us how to get free traffic from YouTube and Google and get that to our product pages and our funnels. And then Frank Guerin's going to be talking, also been an internet marketer, probably one of the oldest internet marketers, not old as far as age, but he's been doing it since the late 90s, and he has some great stuff to share as far as strategies and how he's actually helping people within our team with masterminding and coaching. And then after that, we have Brian Johnson. That's going to be on, one of my good buddies for many years now. Brian has gotten really good at Amazon sponsored ads and how to take that to the next level, really advanced level stuff that you guys have been asking about. Brian and I are going to be going through that and teaching you guys some amazing stuff and things that are changing actually right now. There's been algorithm changes that have been happening over the last week and a half or so, and he is right on the pulse of that. And then ending it out our day, we have Janae Knight, who's going to be talking about keeping your focus, and she's going to be talking all about scheduling, organization, and delegation. So amazing stuff we have talking today. And then also at the end of the day today, one thing we couldn't get Russell Brunson on. He doesn't do weekends, which is fine. I totally understand. I usually don't do weekends myself. But we will have him on Tuesday, and he's going to be talking about ClickFunnels. So everything we're talking about today is really all structured together. What Justin's going to be teaching us right now is how we can get ads and deliverability and get more traffic, and we can actually then direct that right to our ClickFunnels we're going to talk about on Tuesday. So anyway, I don't want to waste too much of time, especially, I don't know if you guys know this, but Justin's wife, their second baby is due really any time now. Their due date is officially tomorrow. And when we scheduled this with Justin, I said, Justin, you sure you're going to be able to do this? Because I figure, there's going to be labor time in there, and Justin's going to send me a message like 5 minutes before he goes on, hey, sorry, Dave, I'm in the delivery room, and I totally would have understood that. But no, he's here, and he's ready to go, and I'll tell you a little bit about Justin here in a second. But Justin, if you have to run out, I totally understand. If your wife comes to you and says, hey, Justin, it's time, then just say, let us know, and then you're out of here.
Thank you. So far, so good. But
okay,
we'll see what happens.
If it happens, it happens. We're on live, and you know what happens with live TV or live internet. Just that's what it's all about. So I said it would be funny if Justin does his presentation towards the end here, his wife grabs and says, okay, it's time. And then by the end that we're still broadcasting live, that Justin comes back and shows the picture of his new baby and they start answering questions, because that's it probably Justin probably won't tell. Well, his wife probably knows that Justin, this is what he does. He loves doing this, and I don't know. He's on here answering questions in the middle of the night. Sometimes I don't even know when he gets some sleep. But let me tell you a little bit, about Justin here, and let's get going. So our first speaker today is Justin Aquilia. He has been in the online advertising space now since he was a teenager. And I know he still looks like he's very young, but I know it's been many years. So Justin, maybe you could tell us a little more about that. But he's since then spent millions of dollars on most of the major online ad platforms. And he's been teaching thousands of Amazon sellers how to market their products using the Facebook ads platform. So today he's going to be teaching us on how to use a brand new Facebook ad type to run Amazon promotions more effectively. In fact, he is actually worked directly with Facebook, and they are actually, I believe you can tell us more about it, but he is working with Facebook to deliver this new tool. So we're ready for some awesome stuff. And Justin, go ahead, take it away there, brother.
Cool. Thanks for the intro. Yeah, I am. I've been working with Facebook for a couple of years now, and I'll give you guys some backstory on that too as I go through my presentation. But one of the key things I want to touch on too before I start digging in to what I have planned today is the idea that, Facebook advertising or any kind of advertising is extremely powerful no matter what kind of business model you're using. And, I've got a lot of Amazon sellers on my email list and stuff, and I've done some surveys, and I've come to realize that like over half of the Amazon sellers who are doing well also have some other business too that they do. They're selling real estate or, insurance or whatever. Like, most of you guys are doing other stuff too. And the thing that I'm about to teach you today not only is really powerful for, driving sales to your Amazon listings or driving new customers to your Amazon listings, but also, generating leads for whatever other business it is that you're in. So I'm going to be showing you the Facebook lead generation ad type here. So let me pull up my slides here. So just give me one sec. Can you see my screen, Dave?
Yes, we can. I see me and me.
Good. All right, there we go. Cool. So today I'm talking about Facebook lead generation ads. I'll show you exactly what those look like here in just a second. Dave already did a great job of giving a backstory on me, so I won't go into too much detail. But my name's Justin Aquilia. I've been in advertising since I was 14 years old. I'm 27 now. And that's basically all I've been doing ever since then. I've never had a job before. Always have just kind of been an entrepreneur and started businesses, and all the stuff that I've done over the last, 13 years, all the success, has all been reliant on, learning how to utilize online advertising. So that was kind of my, special talent that I learned to tap into from a really young age. And over the last 6 years, since 2009, I've been buying a lot of advertising on Facebook. So Facebook is really my main platform right now. So you kind of call me a Facebook ninja, because I've been on the platform since the beginning, since 2009, spending, a lot of money on the system. Now I'm spending, several $1 million every year on the platform in various industries, and Amazon and insurance and, in all kinds of stuff. I don't do just Amazon. Amazon is just kind of one of my things. I just kind of, by a random set of situations, got involved in the Amazon business. But, Amazon is just one of the many things that I use online advertising for. So if you don't know what a Facebook ad is, this is what it looks like. You're on Facebook, assuming you probably have a Facebook profile. When you are on your Facebook profile and you're scrolling your news feed, you're going to see something that looks like this. So it's very simple. An ad is essentially a sponsored piece of content. So, when you post stuff on your Facebook wall, that's an unsponsored piece of content. When you run an ad, it's a sponsored piece of content. And they both look the exact same, except the only difference is that when you're running an ad, it says sponsored on the ad, but it still looks like a piece of content. So on Facebook, running these types of ads, I've spent quite a bit of money. So I'm just going to show you a couple screenshots from some of my accounts. And my main my main thing that I generate from Facebook ads is leads. I've learned how to generate leads from Facebook ads and then turn those leads into customers. So most of the campaigns that you'll see that I run when you're looking at my account is all geared towards generating like email signups and stuff like that. And then I build out, like a back-end funnel to convert those people into paying customers. So here's just a screenshot from one of my accounts. This was an app that I promoted last year. So just over the course of, you'll see from November 30th until January 4th, 257,000 in spend, 147,000 conversions. And then you'll see here's a screenshot from one of my other niches that I run advertising in, the auto insurance space. So you'll see another, few hundred grand in spend there. And looks like a total of like 60,000 leads or something like that. So, I'm kind of just showing this to you too, so you can see sort of the potential of running Facebook advertising. Of course, when I started out, I wasn't, spending this kind of money and generating this many leads. But, as you fine tune your advertising, you can get to that point where you can, spend a lot of money on it. And the idea is to get to the point, where you're doing it in a profitable way, right? Like you're generating the lead, you're driving them into some kind of sales funnel, and then you tweak that sales funnel until it becomes profitable for you. And then once it becomes profitable for you, you scale up your ad campaigns. So using these strategies that I've come up with over the last few years, I've generated millions of leads on the platform. Most of those leads have been, for Amazon sellers and for insurance and app installs. And one thing that I like to point out to anyone who's considering ads or has kind of dipped into them a little bit, but hasn't really taken full advantage of them yet, is that just think about this concept a little bit. Think about like big corporations and big businesses, and think about what they're doing, right? Like pretty much every big business out there, they're buying a lot of ads. And that's how they grew to that point. That's how they became a multi-billion-dollar business, because they've learned how to buy ads on a very large scale. Think about like Coca-Cola. They're on like every single TV show as a commercial. They're on a lot of billboards. You'll notice all these big companies, they're in your face all the time. They've learned how to master this concept. And if you can learn how to master the concept of advertising as well, that puts you into a really great position, because it allows you to compete with the big guys. It might take you, some time to like really compete and, form a multi-billion-dollar like e-commerce business. But you totally can, because if you take the time to really understand the stuff that I'm going to teach you right here in this webinar, it's going to sound really, really simple. But this is the stuff that separates the little guys from the big guys. Like if you learn how to really actually use advertising, then you know how to do what the big guys know how to do. And what's cool these days, and the big corporations haven't really caught up with this yet, is that online advertising, like tools like Facebook advertising and Google advertising, they provide such fast analytics that small businesses can come in and actually do some damage there and spend millions of dollars on advertising. Like me, like I spend money on advertising like I'm a big corporation in some of the ad campaigns that I run, but it's just me and my team of like 5 guys in here in Austin. So we can actually come out and do some pretty heavy damage and compete with bigger businesses with just a small team. And it's because of how powerful the modern advertising tools are. And this, I think, puts us into a really big shift in how businesses work. You'll see, I think, over the next 2 decades that a lot of these big companies like Johnson & Johnson, people like us who start to learn how to use these advertising tools, we're going to start rising up and kind of taking these guys on head to head. And that's where we're at right now with this knowledge. There's this huge shift. People want new products. They want stuff that's better for them and isn't, hurting them and poisoning them and stuff like most of the stuff the big corporations offer today. And it's us who are coming out with stuff that the market wants, and we're a part of that shift. So the ones of us who really learn how to tap into the advertising side are the ones who are really going to, be the leaders of that new shift. So what I'm going to be teaching you today is how to use Facebook lead generation ads. So I'm going to show you a few different examples from different businesses. I'm not going to focus it all just on Amazon, but I'll show you how you can use them for Amazon as well. And then I'll give you a little bit of tips on how you could actually write good Facebook ads. I want to give you the model so that when you leave this webinar, you can go and start writing ads and really know how to proceed forward. Because a lot of people, when they're first getting into Facebook, if they miss the simple formula of testing ideas and then analyzing those results, they struggle with it. So I'm going to show you like the most basic formula for how you can start utilizing the Facebook ad platform or any ad platform. And then the last piece is I'm going to give you guys a free trial to our software. I'll tell you about that here in a second. So one of the keys to utilizing the Facebook lead ads is to use this software that I'm going to show you here in just a second. So this is what a Facebook lead ad looks like. It starts with a simple Facebook ad. Looks something like this here on the left. So you'll see here, this is a Facebook ad where I'm offering people a free PDF guide. And then when they click on the ad, instead of going to a website like usual, it pops up a lead form like this inside of Facebook. So let me just say that again. So keep in mind when you're running a lead ad, the ad and the lead form, they happen inside of Facebook. So there's no need for the user to leave the site to put in their information. And then after the user clicks on the first ad and then when the lead form pops up, since it's within Facebook, Facebook actually pre-fills that lead form with all of the user's information. So if I were to click this lead form, it would automatically say, or if I were to click this ad, it would automatically say my name and my email address inside of the form. So all I have to do when I see a lead ad, if I'm the consumer, is I click the ad and then I click the submit button. So in 2 steps, you get the user from seeing your ad to submitting their information. So this whole system for collecting lead information makes the whole process a lot easier because you can run basically any campaign like you normally would, even an Amazon promotion campaign, which I'll show you here in a second, but you don't have to actually get the user to go to your website or opt in or anything like that. It all just happens right on the front end inside of Facebook. So the whole process is extremely simple for the consumer, meaning, the more simple it is, the easier it is that they're going to opt in, which means the less money you're going to spend to get them to opt in, because when your conversion rates are higher after someone clicks your ad, then you pay less money to, get the person to actually opt in to that ad. And from my testing over the last 4 months since I got involved in these Facebook lead ads, it is definitely the most inexpensive way, especially for someone who's new to advertising, to start to grow their email list. So pretty much in every case that I've tested this on, I've been able to get my cost per lead down below $1. And previously, let's say for an Amazon promotion or something like that, I was used to seeing like $1, $2, $3 to capture an email. And for those same campaigns, now I'm capturing emails, for 80 cents or $1. So my costs have gone down, 50 to 80% across the board. And you can set up an ad using this lead generation ad type way easier than using a landing page. So not only are you paying less money to generate a lead, but you are doing less work to generate the lead as well. Don't get me wrong though, landing pages are still really powerful ways. It's still really powerful to use a page to convert customers into sales, right? Because on a landing page, you can include more sales copy. So the landing page is still a good strategy. But the Facebook lead ad is just like a real simple way to, just kind of dig into Facebook and get started. And I shouldn't even say get started because I use Facebook lead ads constantly to generate, signups for my software business, to generate signups for my Amazon promotions. But I also still use landing pages as well. So I'll give you just a quick tip. Typically what I'll do is I'll run my Facebook ads initially to an audience that's never opted into my list before. I'll grab their information with the Facebook lead ad. And then once I have them on my list, I retarget them with other types of ads that don't have a lead form and just drive them straight to a landing page. So That way you get their information right off the bat in the easiest way possible, and then you just start retargeting them with more offers. So now I want to talk to you about how you actually profit with Facebook advertising, Facebook lead ads, or any kind of advertising. The model I'm going to show you right here really relates to any kind of advertising, but as I'm walking you through it, I'm going to be giving you an example of the Facebook lead ad. So this is a real simple formula that I've been following for a couple of years now. It's called the campaign roadmap. Let me walk you through the steps. It all starts with, a goal, and I'm going to actually break this down for you step by step here. But it all starts with the goal, what you're trying to achieve with the campaign. Then the ad type, which is, how are you going to reach out to these people? What kind of ad are you going to use? A Facebook ad, Google ad, and then the audience. Who are you going to reach with that ad? And then you've got your creative. What are you going to put in front of that audience? And then finally, you've got your results. Like, how did that do? How did putting that creative in front of the audience perform for you? And then from that, you've got results. And then you come up with new goals and you repeat the process. So that's the thing that a lot of people miss out is, running advertising is a very simple process. It's not a linear process. It's not like you just test some stuff out, figure out what works best, and just roll with that. It's a circular process. You're constantly, testing things out, looking at the results, and doing that in repetition. You never really stop doing that. And, this idea came to me a couple of years ago, this whole circular map process, because for years I had been basically doing this, but I hadn't really put it into a visual. I was just sitting down and I just realized that was all I was doing. I was coming up with ideas for ads, testing them out, looking at the results, and then coming up with new stuff, doing that over and over and over again. And the more I did that, the better I got at advertising. That was how I was able to get my campaigns from, spending no money to spending $400,000 in a month. You can do that if you test, and it's not like you're just going to crank up your budgets on an ad campaign that high immediately. You scale it up over time as you learn, as you get better at the formula. You might start spending $20 a day, and then in a year you're spending $20,000 a day. It just takes it. You have to be patient with it and properly test, and then you can actually start to do some damage with your advertising as you get better with it. So the idea of the goal. So I want to talk about that a little bit, just so you can understand, how to actually start with your advertising. Because a lot of people, when they're first digging into advertising, they don't know what exactly to do with the ads. As an Amazon seller, how do you get people to buy your stuff? So you want to think about what the goal is of your ad first. Are you trying to opt people into a webinar and then sell them on your product? Do you want to get people to download a free PDF and then drive them into some kind of sales funnel where you upsell them, via email? Or do you want to just straight up send them to your Amazon listing and give them a coupon code? There's a lot of different there's a lot of different goals that you can have in mind, and all of them are worthy of testing. So when I say what's your goal, that itself also isn't quite a linear question, because there are many different ways that you could achieve the end goal, which is, sell products. That's your main higher level goal. But then you've got all the different, intermediary goals that you could use to get to that main goal. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about now, to give you a little bit of advice on how to start building these ads, what to tailor them around. So the first one that you can use, even as an Amazon seller, I've used this a couple of times for e-commerce businesses. If you're selling products that are over $50, using webinars to sell them works really well. So goal number one for an ad campaign could be to generate signups for your webinar. And that's going to be really simple with the Facebook lead form, because you'll set up a Facebook lead form or a Facebook lead ad that links to a sign-up form. And then when someone fills out that sign-up form, you sign them up for a webinar. And I'll show you how to do that here in a second using our software. So that's goal number one, getting people to register for webinars. These work really well. I use them all the time. The next goal that you can think about is getting hot leads. So this is going to be more for this is if you're selling really, really high priced products, or if you're like a realtor or an insurance agent, or, do some professional service. Goal number two is to get a hot lead. And what that means is, let's say you set up an ad that looks something like this. Someone clicks that ad and a lead form pops up. you capture their information. Well, a hot lead is a lead that you call and sell. It's not like you just drive them into another website or something. I mean, you might send them to another website, but when you have a hot lead, you call that lead. And typically you hear hot leads referred to when you're in a professional service space. But you can also use this if you're selling, like, as an Amazon seller, if you're like in the health space, for example, you can sell products, right? But you can also have other like higher price things. Like, if you were into it, you could do like events or something like that, like recruit people for like some health restoration yoga events or something like that. If you were doing that, then you would do hot lead captures. If you're doing any kind of local business, hot leads are really great too. And then the third type, and this is probably what most of you will be doing at first when it comes to Facebook advertising. It's called, it's a real simple goal of just generating new purchases right off the ad. And this is another great way to use the Facebook lead ad. So what you do is you have an ad, something like this, where it says, to opt in to get a coupon code. And then, a lot of you have probably heard of this type of Amazon promotion before, coupon discount promotions, right? And typically what you'd have to do is you'd have to link someone to a landing page, capture their email, and then give them a coupon code. But using the Facebook lead ad, you can hit this goal of generating new purchases. Instead of having to build landing pages, you can use the Facebook lead generation ad, and then when someone opts in, you can send them a coupon code. And if you've heard of Amazon single-use codes, I'm going to show you how you can use our tool to distribute those to everyone who opts into your list here in a second too. So you can use the Facebook lead ad for Amazon single-use codes. And an Amazon single-use code, if you don't know what that is, let's say you want to run a 50% off promotion on Amazon, generate some new customers, right? So you'd go into Amazon, instead of just making one code that you give everyone, like you'd see in this ad here, you'd generate a list. Like, let's say you wanted to push like 500 products, you generate a list of 500 codes. And then you take that list of 500 codes, you plug it into our system, and then everyone who opts into one of your Facebook lead ads will receive one of their own unique code instead of you just giving the same code to everyone. Main reason why that's important is because that ensures that every single person that you give a discount on your product to is actually on your email list. If you just give out a code like you see here in this ad, then that code can be shared, and then you'll get a lot of people taking you up on that discount without having opted into your email list. So the single-use codes is just your protection to make sure that your ad dollars are getting the most value. And remember, with these goals, that every business is different. You might have more expensive products, you might have less expensive products. So don't just kind of pick one of these and roll with it. Actually, if you were just going to pick one and roll with it, I'd probably just go with the discount one since you are an Amazon seller. But your goal is still going to be different as a business owner than someone else who's a different Amazon seller. You might be able to utilize webinars or hot leads. You might come up with a totally different approach than what I just showed you here, than just straight up offering them a discount code. You might collect their email and then put them into an autoresponder series, send them a free PDF. And then, there's all different ways to do it, and you can call it your goal. Your goal leads into your funnel. But usually with Facebook advertising, you'd want to start with the most basic goal. As an Amazon seller, if you've never done this before, you probably start with this and set up a campaign using the strategy that I'm teaching you here on the webinar. So the next piece is the ad type. I'm only going to be talking about one ad type here, but there's a ton of different ones, even just inside of Facebook. But think about when you're browsing the web, you see so many different ads. You see banner ads, you see news ads, you see all kinds of ads. And all of these ads can bring you differing results. And in time, they may all be worthy of looking at for you. But at this time, I believe that the easiest ad type to first dig into for any Amazon seller are the Facebook ad types. And more specifically, the Facebook lead generation ad type, which has only been around since October. So now let me talk to you a little bit about how these promotions work. Amazon promotions. So I know like pretty much everyone on here is an Amazon seller. So I want to give you a little bit of an explanation for how you can use these for Amazon, right? So you've got an ad, and this is the old way of running an Amazon promotion. Still a good way. I still use this way, using a landing page, but this is the way that you had to use before there was a Facebook lead ad. You'd have an ad like this that offers a promotion or a discount on something. When they click the ad, they go to a landing page. They have to put in their email address, and then they get a promotion, right? They get a promotion code by email. The new way, though, is using the Facebook lead ad, and this is what it looks like. You got your ad first. You tell them you're going to give them a promotion code for opting in. When they click the ad, a lead form pops up. I already showed this to you. When they click submit, you feed them into an autoresponder series. And then in that autoresponder series, it has a coupon code inside of it. And you can use this with normal coupon codes, or you can use this with single-use codes. Now, here's a limitation. So between the middle step here, which is the lead form and the email, there's a limitation in Facebook at this time, where when you start to generate leads using these Facebook lead generation ads, all of the leads, they just show up on your Facebook fan page. They don't really go anywhere. So they don't go, like if you're, let's say you're using ActiveCampaign. As you generate leads, those leads aren't going to just go to ActiveCampaign. You'd have to come here to your fan page on Facebook, and you'd have to download the leads and then import them into ActiveCampaign. So this is where our tool comes into play, the Optimize.ad lead sync tool. So what you can do with this tool is, and you can sign up at Optimize.ad for it, Optimize.ad/Kettner if you're going to sign up. So the Optimize.ad lead sync tool, what this will do is after you create a Facebook lead ad, you'll come into our tool and you'll sync that ad with whatever your email program is. So you'll log in, you'll click new sync, you'll select your Facebook ad, and then you'll select where you want the leads from that ad to go. So then every time someone submits one of your ads, the lead automatically gets pushed into your email autoresponder program. So it works with ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Infusionsoft, GetResponse, Constant Contact, GoToWebinar, and I think a couple other ones too. And it also works with the Amazon single-use code. So after you create a sync, let's say you were to create a sync between a Facebook ad that you were promoting Amazon products with your ActiveCampaign list. Well, what you could do is you could come into Optimize.ad. You could grab your list of Amazon single-use codes, paste them in here into our coupon management system, and then every single time that someone opts in and fills out one of those Facebook lead forms, they're going to have a unique coupon code appended to their contact record in your email CRM. And then what you can do is you can build an autoresponder that's going to go out as soon as they opt in and give them their own unique single-use code. So the next piece from here is your audience. So once you've figured out your ad type, you want to think about, how are you going to reach people? And I know that sounds really simple, but with Facebook, it is very simple, but a lot of people kind of miss this whole audience targeting thing, right? Because some people just totally skip that and just target their ads to like all women, like if they're in the skincare niche or something like that. But there's a lot of flexibility with Facebook advertising and audience targeting. So this is what Facebook audience targeting looks like if you haven't seen it. And every time I show this to someone who's never done Facebook advertising before, they're always like blown away by it. And the idea is because with this, you can get so pinpoint with your targeting and who your ads reach, because Facebook has such a vast amount of data about its users. It really allows you to like really go in and pinpoint stuff. So you can use Facebook first to target people who are in a certain demographic. Like I could hit women between 33 and 58 who are in the United States. But this is where the real magic lies, is the section below where it says detailed targeting. Now you can create very simple or advanced audiences. Like for example, I actually don't remember what Arbonne is, but I believe it's like a skincare company or something. But anyway, so in this audience here, I'm targeting people who are interested in Arbonne, right? And then I'm narrowing it down further. I'm also targeting people who are interested in Whole Foods. So I'm getting a market of people who are interested in that, company Arbonne, and people who are interested in Whole Foods. So you can see here what you can do with the detailed targeting sections. You can kind of like drill in and like get really pinpoint audiences. So let's say you were in skincare market, and I give that as an example a lot because I've done a lot of ads for skincare. Let's say you're in the natural skincare market. You'd start with interests, and you type in some brands for like natural skincare companies like Burt's Bees and that kind of stuff, right? So you got your audience of targeting just people who are interested in like natural skincare companies. You got that first. Then you narrow it down further and you do people who are interested in Whole Foods too. So you got people who are into natural skincare who also shop at Whole Foods. So then you have an audience that's fairly unique of people who not only are interested in natural skincare, but they also spend money, because most people who shop at Whole Foods, they also spend money on stuff, right? So you can use these audiences and get really creative with them, which gives you a lot of room for improvement, right? Because every single audience that you test, you're putting your ads in front of different people, and every test that you do is going to bring you different results. So if, let's say, for example, you put your ads in front of people who are interested in Whole Foods, and then you put your ads in front of people who are interested in Trader Joe's. Well, both of those groups of people are going to bring you different results, which means that just on the audience level itself, just tweaking your audience and, tweaking who's seeing your ads can make all the difference, because every single test that you do, you could potentially be improving the results of your ad campaign, and also expanding your reach out to more and more people. So utilizing this detailed targeting here is the key, especially if you're an Amazon seller selling products. This is the key to actually getting your ads working and also competing. Because if you just come in here and just target all women 33 and up, first of all, you're going to have a ton of competition, and you're not going to be hitting a very specific group of people. So the more you start to learn how to use detailed targeting, the more specific you can hit your ads to. So I'm going to give you a few examples of of what Facebook audiences look like. So here's one for a skincare company, some ads I did for one of my skincare companies. So I targeted women in the United States between 33 and 58 who matched any of these interests. And these interests, Jura, skincare, Cora, organics, they're all like natural skincare brands, right? So, and look and see how specific this audience targeting is. Like I'm getting, I'm targeting like some specific like doctors and stuff like that are recommending, natural skincare. And, you can do this with Facebook ads. You can get really, really specific. So that's kind of one of the first main tips you want to think about with these audience targetings. Like whatever your product is, think about that. Think about what market you're in, and how can you find your most specific audience, like the most obvious audience that's going to relate directly to whatever it is that you're promoting. In this case, since I'm selling a natural skincare product, it was really specific natural skincare companies. So that's what you usually want to start with, is the most obvious choice. Start from there and then kind of branch out and start tinkering around. You might have 5 that seem like the most obvious. A lot of people do that. They're like, well, I don't know if this is going to work better or that's going to work better. Well, that's a good situation to be in too, because that just gives you 5 different audiences to test out with your ads. Test them all out, see which one brings you the best results, and then drill into the one that gives you the best results. Here's another audience that I did for an app that I was promoting called Sell Threats. So you'll see here, this audience, this app is kind of like a conspiracy app, right? Because it says, government scanning your phone, use this app to see who's tapped into your phone, right? So this app is going to be attractive to people who are into like conspiracy theories and stuff. So here's my targeting, 25 and up in the United States, who are interested in Glenn Beck, Ron Paul, Alex Jones, like all the people that are like, more conspiracy, talking about the government and stuff like that. So, with your ads, like even something like this, I can hit a pinpoint audience that's going to be into that. And when I ran this ad, my click-through rate was like 9%. It was actually one of my best ads ever. So really, the more specific you can get your ad messaging to your audience, the better your ads are going to perform. So that means that like if you have like a more unique kind of product, or you can figure out what makes your product more unique, it makes it a lot easier to actually build effective ad messaging and targeting. And then the last example that I'll give you is local targeting. So this is really awesome if you're a small business owner of any kind, or you have some kind of local business. So what this allows you to do, or you have a nonprofit, you're in politics, whatever, like if you have any reason why targeting people just in a very pinpoint area would help you, this is a great ad. So let's say you owned a coffee shop or something. You could target people within 1 mile of that coffee shop who are specifically interested in coffee shops, right? So here's this ad. This ad is for a nonprofit that I was thinking about starting, like that helps people learn how to grow gardens in their yard. So I targeted people within 1 mile of where my office is, and people who are interested in like sustainable living and urban agriculture. And this ad was also one of my best ads ever, with like a 6 or 7% click-through rate, and I was getting opt-ins to my email list for like pennies. So using these location ads can be really powerful, especially if you're in some kind of like nonprofit or something like that. So now the next piece after audience is like how to actually craft your creative to be attractive to that audience. I mean, you still got some examples of what creative I was building to match with the audiences, but I'm going to dig in a little bit deeper to give you some ideas of creative themes that you can use when you're creating Facebook ads, instead of just sticking with kind of the same theme over and over again. This is especially important for people who are running Amazon promotions, because a lot of people who learn how to do these promotions, they just kind of take the theme that I showed them and just roll with that. And you see a lot of people just running the same ad, like with the picture of their product on it and the before and the after price. Like a lot of people just running that same thing, but there's a lot more that you can do with it. And the more stuff you test, the better. Like, for example, for Amazon promotions, a year and a half ago, I taught it for the first time to amazing or Amazon sellers. And I showed them, the formula where you've got the picture and the before and after price. I showed them that whole formula. I was teaching that for like 6 months. And then I ran a test, and I found that my conversion rates skyrocketed when I didn't say the before and after price in the image, but I just had a picture of the product. And literally my results were like 3 times higher having a picture of just someone using the product versus having the before and after price. And it took me a little testing to figure that out, but as soon as I did, that just made me realize, like, okay, maybe before and after price works, but there's stuff that's going to work better too. So that's why I want to show you just some general themes that you can start to use as you're building these ads. Here's the first, theme. So a theme is basically different ways of creating your ads. The first way that I use a lot is called hand-drawn. So what I'll do is I'll take a piece of paper, I'll do a little doodle on it when I have an idea for an ad, and then I'll have like a graphic designer actually turn that doodle into a real ad. So all of these ads here, they started with doodles. I sat down on a piece of paper, I doodled them out, and then I converted them into this. So they're hand drawn. These ads work really great because you can actually create anything that you can imagine, which is really powerful for advertising. A lot of people just rely on like stock images or photos that they take, but when you can learn how to use the hand drawn aspect, you can get infinitely creative with your advertising. This is my favorite way to create ads. Almost all my ads are hand drawn. And then the next piece here, and I made a mistake, I accidentally put the same ad twice, is funny ads. So here's a campaign that I did with one of my old business partners. We did a webinar back in 2014. These are some of the weirdest ads I ever ran. And you'll see in the middle, you've got me and my business partner from the time, and this giraffe here in the middle, right? And the giraffe's kind of just like popping out in your face. So, really weird looking, but it's kind of funny, right? It catches your eye. You've got a weird giraffe popping out at your face. So this ad did really well. Funny ads don't always work, but in this case, they worked pretty well. So you can use funny ads to promote, Amazon products too, but probably I would guess the hand-drawn look's going to work a little bit better. Funny ads tend to work best if you're doing like if you're doing content or something like that. So on this webinar, I was selling a course on like media buying, right? And the funny ads, got a lot of people to sign up for my webinar, but when I use funny ads for like skincare or something like that, where it's like more sensitive, like let's say that you sell face creams, right? Like making your face beautiful and glowing isn't really like a funny thing for people. People are like, people are actually like emotionally involved in that, and feeling like upset and all that stuff. So coming at that from a funny angle probably wouldn't work. So you really have to think about like, what's your market? What are they thinking? What are they going to react to? Skincare probably isn't going to react to funny, but people who are into online marketing may react to funny because it's not that emotional of a thing. It's not like people are, it is a little bit emotional running ads and getting better at them, but they're, in general, people in the online marketing space, it's a whole different mindset. They just want to learn and stuff. It's not like other markets out there that people are more emotional and sensitive to. So you can use funny ads for mainly informational products, stuff like that. But you can try it on Amazon products too, depending on what your market is. If you're selling electronics or something like that on Amazon, then funny ads might work. Next piece is authoritative ads. So these work really great if you are if you're like an insurance agent or something like that. So another part of my business too is I teach insurance agents how to generate leads, insurance agents and realtors and stuff. So if you can make your ads look like they're kind of official, or something like that from your local area, a lot of times for insurance ads, like I'll put the location in the ad, like this one says new policy in Texas. I'll put the state in the actual ad. So whatever you can do to kind of make the ad seem more like, like you are some authoritative like figure in that place. That helps a lot. It can help with Amazon products too. Takes a little bit more if you're going to include locations in your ad, But and typically that's like the best way that I found to do authoritative ads, to like include locations in ads and stuff like that. So this can work. My favorite for this one is, you know, for professional services, but also I've seen success with it too on Amazon. Now the last piece to all of this is your results. So after you run an ad campaign, the first thing you want to do is you want to look at how much money you spent and how many signups that spend generated you, but not only how many signups, but how many customers did you generate, how many sales did you generate. So you want to look at all of that, you know, and you kind of want to break it down and look at the whole higher level funnel, because it starts with your ad, and then you have signups, and then you have sales. So it's like 3 steps, right? You want to look at how many signups, how many sales, look at the conversion rate in between the whole way. So like if you spent $1,300 and generated 200 signups and 50 sales, you know, mark those numbers down. And what was your conversion rate from sign up, from spend to, you know, conversion? How much did that, out of how many people that clicked on your ad, how many people actually signed up for your lead form? And then out of how many people that clicked on and signed up for your lead form, how many of those people bought whatever it was that you were selling? So keep an eye on those conversion rates. And then as you're running ads, you know, let's say you tested 5 different things, figure out what the conversion rates were throughout all of the steps on all of those tests. And then use those results then to come up with your next thing. And you always want to be looking at every aspect, because one test might generate a better sign up cost for you, but a lower, you know, sell rate. So you want to look at all of those aspects. And you also, even when you have the capacity to do this, you also want to look at your customers on a deeper level too, like, because you can look at them just on the front end of how many people signed up, how many people bought right there. But there's also the lifetime value you want to be thinking about as well, because if you capture an email, you might be upselling those people stuff for years to come. Well, you can not only analyze them based on how many people bought right off the bat, but how many people bought in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So you can really, you know, like the way that I'll do it is I'll just have a little spreadsheet, you know, and I'll mark my tests. Like if I tested out a campaign, I'll keep an eye on all those customers that campaign generated and how much stuff they bought, not only now, but, you know, in increments of, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks over the next month. So then I get a better idea of like kind of what the lifetime value is going to be of those people. And you'll notice, especially when you go like 4 weeks deep looking at your customers, when you have a good sales funnel, that you're going to see like huge differences in your ad tests when it comes to purchases. So look at this campaign, for example. I mean, just on the front end of this campaign, you'll see, look at the data here. Look at ad 1. So on the bottom, you see like 5 ads, right? The second ad to the bottom, it had 1 conversion and it spent $130. The ad on the top had 67 conversions and at $6.05 per conversion. So the conversion cost between these ads just on the front end was significantly different, right? And you're going to notice that a lot of times when you're running ads, that on the front end, it's going to be really obvious which one wins. But sometimes you might notice, like, look at ad 6 and ad 2 on the very top. One had a $6 conversion cost, one had a $5.50 conversion cost. Very similar, but when you analyze these things in the more long term, between these 2 ads, you're almost guaranteed to notice that it may have looked similar on the front end, but on the back end, after several weeks, you know, one of them crushed the other one. So I see that all the time where it looks normal on the front end, and then when you actually analyze the data in the long run, things change a lot. And the whole key to all of this is split testing different ideas. So I gave you a few different ideas for ad themes. You had the funny ads, you had the authoritative ads, you had the hand-drawn ads. All of those ads, you can test out different ideas, and they're all going to perform differently. And there's also the audiences, right? You can split test different audiences. So you have both forces acting on the campaign, and you can be testing stuff in both areas. And the more stuff that you test, the better your results are going to get. So as you're going through this stuff and starting to, you know, roll with your advertising, you know, the first thing you're going to want, the first obstacle you're going to hit is, you know, you might run an ad test. You know, you might test like 3 images, right? And maybe all the images bomb, or maybe one of them like shows some light. But a lot of times when people first get started, it takes them a little bit to get rolling. And one of their first things is like, the advertising doesn't work for me. You know, I'm just going to give up. And that happens like so often. And actually, it almost happens for every single person who ever starts to learn advertising. Like, I've got a guy here that works with me who I've been training on running ads for, you know, 3 months. And he's just been kind of shadowing me, watching me run ads and stuff. And finally, I let him out, you know, on his own 2 weeks ago. And he started running ads on his own. And for 2 weeks, he's just hasn't, he hasn't cracked it yet. And then like the other day, he was like, man, I just don't know what's wrong. My ads aren't performing, like, and he was all like frustrated about it. Well, that always happens though. You always go through that period of like frustration when you first get started, because it's a learning experience with anything. Like if you're learning an instrument, if you're learning anything, there's going to be that initial period where things aren't going to work like you want them to. But then the more you dig into it, the better they're going to be. So he's just now getting to that phase where he's like, oh man, like I'm doing something wrong. But never like feel like that, like you're doing something wrong. You're always doing something right. You're just testing stuff out, looking for the answers. So just don't get carried away with the ads and don't spend a ton of money on them right off the bat. Just spend some money, start gathering some data, and then as you start to see some light, scale it up. And make sure that when you start, try your best to, overcome that mindset. Because when you start and it is going to take you some time to really, succeed with it. So then the key to succeeding with it is going to be to get past that mental barrier, which a lot of people get stuck on. If you can get past that mental barrier of feeling like, you suck at ads and whatever, then you'll become good at ads, because it just takes time. The more, as you practice and test more stuff, the better you're going to get. So if you can just get past that phase, then you're going to, you're going to succeed at some point. You just have to make sure to keep trying and not giving up. I know that sounds kind of cheesy and simple, but that's like the big mental barrier that almost everyone that I've ever taught advertising to hits first. And a lot of people give up, right then. But those who don't and actually take the time to learn the stuff eventually make it through. Some faster than others, it just depends on how good your technical skills are. Even with me, I started really small with advertising. One of the first ads that I ever ran in the insurance space was, it was several years ago, and I ran a life insurance ad for a friend of mine. Spent a few $100 on the ad tanked. I generated like 1 lead, and either 1 or 0 leads. The ads just totally tanked, and I basically gave up on insurance advertising. I was like, insurance advertising doesn't work on Facebook. Gave up. Didn't do it again for like 6 months. So I almost totally dropped it. And you saw in the beginning of this presentation, I showed you a screenshot of one of my insurance advertising campaigns that had spent $400,000 just last summer. After 6 months, I started testing some stuff again. I got some new ideas. I had like I did a little brainstorm and just came up with some ideas for insurance ads. I tested them out, and then I started to see some light. It wasn't like crushing it right off the bat, but I started to generate some leads. So I almost gave up in the beginning when I started with insurance advertising, but then got back into it, started to see some light, and now I've scaled it up to the point where insurance advertising is like a huge piece of my business. That I make most of my money actually off of insurance, and it all happened because even though I sort of did give up for 6 months, I got back in and I learned how to crack that code. And if I had just totally given up on that first step, then I would have totally missed out on this awesome business for me. And with this, I showed you a screenshot with a lot of spend, right? That didn't come easy. It's not like I had like 10 ads in there and just cranked up the budget. This is a picture of that account in more depth that I showed you in the beginning of the presentation of $400,000 in spend in 3 months. See here, 20,455 ads. That's just over the course of 4 months. So I was pumping out a ton of ads for this particular campaign. And that's what you're going to find as you scale up. You just have to make more ads. And of course, I didn't make 20,000 ads all by myself. I worked my way up to that point. I had a bunch of artists on staff and stuff that I hired through Upwork, just producing ad creative. So as you start to scale your campaigns, getting more perspective on those campaigns, getting more ad creative, that's going to be the key to optimizing those ads, getting the performance better, and also preventing banner blindness, right? Because especially when you start spending at a high level, people start to see your ads over and over again. And if you show people the same ad over and over again, your ads are going to start performing really, really bad after a while because everyone's going to become immune to the ads. But if you just keep pumping out new ad ideas and variations, keeps your ads always fresh. It all goes back to the circular process. You're always constantly producing new ad variations. You always want to keep it as fresh as possible, and also always constantly improving. So as you scale, you'll be producing a ton of ads in the very beginning. You can handle it all on your own. You can just draw some ads up. You can hire people on Fiverr.com or on Upwork to make the ads images for you, or you can just go to Shutterstock, sign up for an account, and download some stock photography and use Photoshop to make them the right size for Facebook. So you can start really small, but when as you scale up, you're going to be testing a lot of stuff. But that's the key, and don't let that scare you too much, because it's not as complicated as it looks to make that many ads, and you'll find that as you scale up that there's a lot of creative people out there willing to help you make ads, and that's the next phase, learning how to tap into that. And I'll do courses on that too in the future for those who are interested. And this is the formula that's allowed me to scale big. Like I said, I started small with just a few ads, and then eventually scaled really big with a ton of ads. So after using this formula for quite a while to generate leads and sales and stuff like that, Facebook actually took notice of one of our ad accounts. So I've had a Facebook representative that's been helping us out for a few years. And a year and a half ago, Facebook, they reached out to me and they said, how are you guys generating such great results with your lead generation ads? They basically told us, like, we're one of the only companies out there who are using their platform to generate leads effectively for businesses at a high scale. And they saw this, and they knew that we were a fairly small agency, but we were spending like more money than a lot of their big corporate clients and stuff. So they reached out to me and they said, hey, can you come out to Austin? I live in Austin now, but at the time I was living in Brooklyn. They asked me to come out to Austin and show them like what we were doing and talk to their team. So I flew down to Austin. I showed them my strategy when I got here, though I had no idea it was going to be like this, but when I showed up to the office in Austin, it was actually 30 of the Facebook ad engineers who like kind of built the Facebook advertising platform. They had flown in from California to hear my presentation along with the Facebook team in Austin. So it was I kind of felt pretty honored to have such a great welcoming. But anyways, I basically presented kind of my strategy, the circular process, and split testing, and I showed them all that stuff. And it was all new to them, which I thought was really surprising. Like all the guys who built the system, they had never even like really thought about split testing or anything like that. So I showed them the whole model and stuff, and they were really excited about it. And then I also showed them that I had some visions for software that I wanted to build utilizing the Facebook Ads API. So I showed them my idea for software, and I asked them if I could build this Facebook marketing software that basically allowed people to split test their ads better and stuff like that. And in the meeting, went pretty well. They said that they said that I could build the software. They gave me the access that I needed. Not anyone can just come in and at the time at least build software. Now other companies have been able to, but anyways, at the time, other companies weren't able to come and build software on the Facebook platform. Still, there are a lot of limitations. But 18 months later, after they gave us the green light to start building tools, we just released our first tool, the Optimize.ad lead sync tool, one that I just explained to you on this webinar. We've got new tools as well that we'll be pushing out once every month or so. And probably at the end of March, we'll be releasing a whole Facebook ads dashboard that allows you to split test your ad creative and order ad creative and all that stuff, like basically just a command center for your ad creative. So that's going to be coming here probably end of next month. But this Facebook lead sync tool itself is really powerful. Again, if you watch the presentation, it's the easiest way for any business owner to start building and growing an email list, generating leads, generating sales, and that kind of stuff. Since you don't have to build any kind of landing page, it makes the whole process really simple. And I know like almost everyone on here is an Amazon seller, so it also allows you to utilize Amazon single-use coupon promotions. So you can build a Facebook lead generation ad. Then when someone clicks on that ad, the lead form pops up. You can use our tool to sync all the leads that come from that lead form with an email CRM like ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft or MailChimp or Aweber or GetResponse or Constant Contact. But when the leads get synced to one of those programs, you can append a single-use coupon to the contact record, so that way you can utilize the Facebook lead ad itself to run Amazon single-use coupon promotions. So this is the absolute easiest way to run these kind of promotions. No need for landing pages or anything. I've already taught a few hundred Amazon sellers how to utilize the single-use promotions with our tool. We've got thousands of leads flowing through our system every day utilizing single-use code. So I know people are using them and succeeding with them, and I've been getting a lot of great feedback. So as I show people this stuff, it's like, they quickly kind of jump off even using landing pages at all because this is so much easier. But still I recommend learning landing pages too. Our tool actually provides a way as well for you to utilize single-use Amazon promotions with lead pages and ClickFunnels as well. So if you do want to run landing pages as well, our tool will allow you to utilize the same thing, syncing like a lead pages or a ClickFunnels landing page with your email CRM and your Amazon single-use coupon list. So if you want to get into our software, I'll make it as easy as possible for you. You can sign up for a 14-day free trial at Optimize.ad, and I actually put the wrong link here, so let me update that. Optimize.ad/Kettner. So go to Optimize.ad/Kettner to sign up. If you sign up using that link, you'll get a special bonus. So like I told you a second ago, our tool allows you to utilize the Facebook lead ad with single-use coupon campaigns, but also using ClickFunnels and lead pages landing pages. So if you go through this link right here, you'll get a free course on how to use ClickFunnels and lead pages to run single-use coupon promotions. So once you sign up, I'll deposit that course into your account for free. It's a $297 course for other people, but you get it totally free. So basically, free to sign up. You get a free course. Hopefully you'll try it out. Totally worth trying. If you're an Amazon seller, whether you're running ads or not, it's the absolute easiest way to start running these types of promotions. So totally recommend getting in there. And I believe Dave probably recorded this webinar too, so you could refer back to it if you get stuck as you're setting things up. Thought I just heard something, but maybe not. And okay, I've got another 20 minutes or so, 28 minutes. So I'm going to open it up to QA here in a second. But let me just show you, while I've got you on screen share, how to access our tool. So if you wanted to sign up, you'd go to Optimize.ad/Kettner. It's going to take you to our sign up page. Then you just go through here, put in a name, make a password, agree to the terms, click sign up. And as soon as you do that, it's going to take you to this thing where you just push this button to start your membership. And then in order to start your membership, you just have to put in a credit card. And that'll start a 14-day trial. You can cancel at any time in those 14 days and you won't get charged anything. So feel free to log in and check it out. And now I'm going to show you one other thing too. So after you, let me log into my account so I can show this to you. I want to show you the training area. So after you log in, if you do join the 14-day free trial, I told you you get a bonus course. So if you want to learn about the landing page tool, you can do that by logging into your account, clicking on the training section here, and then navigate over here to where it says Amazon landing page. You can check out that tool. There's also a training course in there called the Facebook Lead Gen Ads training course. So in that course, there's a whole breakdown of how to do everything step by step. So if you do find yourself feeling like really stuck, that there's also that option as well. You can actually, purchase our Facebook Lead Gen Ads course, which walks you through everything step by step. So that's how you get into the members area. Really easy to sign up. Definitely recommend checking out our trial. That's all I got for content for today. So I'm happy to answer some questions. Looks like we got 26 minutes. So just heard myself.
Awesome, Justin.
Yeah,
yes. I just took off my my mic. So let me turn this down so we're not echoing there. Sorry about that.
All good.
Okay, cool. Awesome content as usual. I hope you guys appreciate the time there that Justin, thank you for being on so super early and right before. I know you are going to not have much sleep because you guys are going to be in labor here soon. So thanks again for all that. I do have some questions that came through. I just want to reemphasize some of the things that Justin just talked about there. And I've seen so many people in the Facebook advertising niche just fail, and it's exactly because of what Justin said. Is because people are just not willing to go out there and test things. And you saw directly there how Justin wouldn't have. He said, I think I heard you say this correctly, Justin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you said the majority right now of your income comes from the insurance niche, and you wouldn't be doing that if you didn't test, because you would have stopped right away because they weren't successful in the beginning. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, totally. And I actually, when I started, I actually did give up for 6 months. I just blew it off, and then some inspiration came to me, and I got back into it. But I almost totally just dropped that whole thing.
That's a good inspiration. I'm glad you glad you came back to it.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know too, I actually dabbled in the auto insurance niche. Geez, I want to say it was 6 or 7 years ago now, and it was a thing called with CPA offers. I'm assuming that's probably one of the things that Justin uses as well. But it's a very competitive niche, and if you don't know what you're doing, you could spend a lot more than you're making. So it takes a lot of testing and tweaking to make it happen. Now, with some of our niches that we're in with our, and I say we being us as our group, some of the things that you might be using for this with your Amazon products, they might not be as complicated as an auto insurance. So that's really an extreme, but really you can, if you start taking the time to do this and following the training. Justin didn't really talk about in there too much. I mean, he mentioned it briefly about some of the courses you're going to get for free. But one thing I love about Justin is he is an incredible trainer, a trainer, coach, answers questions left and right. There's no reason to go through and try to do this on your own, because if you do, it will take you a very long time. And then it's what we call opportunity cost, or in this case, lost opportunity cost. What it's going to take you, not only time but financially, to try to figure it out and do it yourself. There's really no reason when there's other people that are doing it successfully and you can learn from them. So that's why I want to have Justin on, because he's one of the best, if not the best in the world at doing these things. And so that's really important that we re-emphasize how important it is that testing is so key. And a lot of times too, I've heard this too, and you correct me again if I'm wrong, Justin, but if you come up with a campaign that right away you're breaking even or very close to breaking even, that's a winner. That's a winner, right?
Definitely. I mean, I've also found myself feeling excited about campaigns that I've launched, even when they lose money, because I'm just like, I see the light, and if I launch a campaign, even if it's an Amazon promotion, and it loses a bunch of money right off the bat, but I got some sales, I'm like, oh man, I just know that if I just keep testing, I can get it, profitable. So even losing money or breaking even, if you just generate some sales when you run a campaign, that's enough light, to me to be like, okay, I need to drill into this more and figure it out. Because a lot of times on my split testings, I've multiplied the performance of my campaign from test 1 to test 3 by 10. And it's not that uncommon, because every test can make such a huge difference, especially in the very beginning when you haven't tested anything yet.
And when you're bringing things, and when you're getting the contact information, you're getting people's email addresses to follow up with even more so. That's where you get more sales. Because I think, I'm not sure the exact numbers, but most people, it takes them 4 or 5 times of you going after them, showing them the advertising and more content about your product before they finally buy. So if you only show them the one time, you're only getting a certain percentage of those people buying. But if you follow up with them in email, and then you start doing retargeting. Now Justin talked about retargeting ads. He didn't talk about it. He said it briefly. He told you what he does in his overall business scheme. But that, I'm sure, is more part of the training. But the retargeting probably brings you a lot more of the profits as well, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's especially when you're dealing with customers that have never engaged with your business before. It's hard to get someone who has no idea what you do or who you are or what your business is, to get them to actually buy stuff. So a lot of times on the front end, you'll see the conversion rates are fairly low, but the lifetime value is higher when you have a good sales funnel. Because I mean, think about I use this example a lot of times when I'm teaching, but if you meet someone for the first time, if that person tries to just sell you something right when they meet you, you're gonna think they're just some kind of sleazy salesperson, But if they take the time to become your friend and hang out with you a little bit, and then 3 times later they try to sell you on whatever it is that they do, there's a much higher chance that you're actually gonna listen to them. So if you don't take the time to become their friend first, basically, they're just gonna shut you out.
Agreed. Yeah, thank you for sharing. That's very important, and it's a good thing to think about too when you guys are doing follow-up campaigns with your email marketing too. You can't just keep selling. You got to give content, and like we're doing here today. Justin's taking time out of his day to be up early, the day before his wife delivers, or soon anyway, and giving you guys just pure content. So again, thanks for all that, Justin. We do have some questions. So I have some questions that came in here early, so I'm gonna hit those first, and then get some of these recent ones. Albert says or asks, does this keep a single person from trying to download several single-use ads?
Yeah, so with the Facebook lead generation ads, Facebook has a built-in protection that only allows consumers to opt into your ad one time. So after they've opted in one time, they can't opt in again. So that means that, yeah, they can only opt in one time, get one code. After that, they're shut out.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing it, because I know some people on our team have had those issues where especially with a viral code, and with this delivery method here, that can happen. Robin says or asks, Justin, is it necessary to have a certain number of Facebook likes on your business fan page before starting an ad campaign?
No, I mean it almost doesn't matter at all how many likes that you have, because people aren't, for the most part, going to be looking at your fan page. They're just going to be seeing the ad, and the ad doesn't show you the person how many likes are on the fan page. And now they're even less useful, because Facebook has, I don't know if you noticed, but they've really taken priority off of likes. Like if you go to a fan page now, you can barely even tell how many likes it has. And that's something they've done because, I mean, I spoke with Facebook about this a couple months ago. For a long time, they were like telling all these companies, like, get likes, get likes. And they realized after several years of doing that likes don't matter, and I think they just they wanted to pull themselves away from that. So now they're telling everyone, don't get likes, they're useless, and they've just made it like a really small little number on your fan page. So it's like it's almost irrelevant whether or not you have likes on your page, especially now that they've made the number of likes that you have such a small, imprint on your page.
Cool. And does that go as far as with follow-up too? It used to be easier. Well, it never really was easy to be able to send messages to your people to like your pages. But is it? I mean, obviously, probably getting the email is more important than a like. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, likes are sort of valuable, but I wouldn't recommend like trying to run campaigns just to get likes, because like if you're running like Facebook lead ads, for example, like you're just going to get likes residually from the people who see your ads who are interested in them, because they might go check out your fan page and like it. So that's going to happen naturally. You're not going to get a ton of likes that way. It might take a long time to build that up. But that's a great, like let's say you have 5,000 likes on your page after running ads for 6 months. Well, you can run ads just targeting people who like your page, and you've got a great audience that you can hit with your ads. So that's like the best. That's the best way to use likes at this time, like using the Facebook targeting to just hit people who like your page.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Brian says or asks, is there any suggested alternatives to targeting Facebook groups?
There's no legitimate way to target Facebook groups really at this time. Like there was that whole thing with like scraping Facebook groups and stuff. I actually taught that strategy before. It was against their rules, but now Facebook is very against any kind of scraping of their data. Another way though, if you do want to like scrape data to target people, instead of scraping groups, you can scrape email lists. So I use a tool called Yellowbot. So Yellowbot, it only runs on Windows, and you can scrape yellow pages and other data sources, and just scrape email lists, and then retarget people. I don't know how legitimate that is or not, but.
So that's mentioned with a word of caution, I hear in the voice.
So be careful if you are doing that, but I have done that, and it does work. I use that in the insurance space a lot.
And, some other things that you can do. There's just because you just you're in there and you're putting in the Facebook targets and whatnot. Like when Justin showed there, when he was showing some of his examples, how he found authors, and he found maybe people that are speaking on different topics that would be of interest to people that are looking for that particular product. You could do that. It doesn't have to be in Facebook. You can go into other search engines. Amazon is a search engine. Google. YouTube. Go in there and start doing research and find out people that it's kind of like you're looking for where to fish, right? You're looking for the fish that are going to be targeted specifically for whatever product you're trying to sell. So go in there and try to find these authors, try to find doctors, try to find people that that have fans or followers that are going to be interested in that type of product that you have, and then go see if you have a Facebook area that you can target. Would you agree on that, Justin?
Yeah, so I mean, basically you're saying like kind of find lists of people and then plug in their emails and target them?
You could do it that way, but you can also do it where you can find that that same group could be they could have a fan base in they could have a fan page in Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in terms of targeting actual fan pages in Facebook, I've noticed I actually haven't had too much success doing that, mainly because there's not a lot of very specific ones. So like you could find an author, but like you might be able to target like Tim Ferriss or something, like a really, really big time author, but most authors I found don't really show up, you know, because those interests in Facebook are only going to happen when there's like at least, you know, 10, 20,000 people who have expressed interest in something. But it totally does work. Like you can sort of do it, but it's not going to be as specific in most cases as having like an email list would or something like that.
Okay.
But still worthy strategy. I mean, I still use it.
I'm assuming that some of your training that you know, once we get in there with you, that you cover a lot of this, right?
Yeah. So the Facebook lead ads training, which is a paid one in there, that's $297. That one covers like basically from start to finish how to like create your ads, build an audience, launch a lead ad campaign. There's another training in there too that's going to be a free one. I'm gonna release it probably next week. It's called the Audience Masterclass. So like anyone who signs up for this will get that class free too. And in that class, I'm going to go into like retargeting and all the different ways to like, you know, utilize the Facebook audience targeting and split testing and all that stuff. It's going to be like probably a 2.5 hour long course, like just digging into, you know, audience case studies. So we've got that in there. My goal with that too is like every 2 or 3 weeks, you know, release another course. So I'm going to be digging into all kinds of stuff. I'll do a course on, you know, how to utilize Power Editor, how to build videos. Like I've got a lot of courses kind of mapped out that I'm working on now that I'll be pushing out there, like kind of related to Facebook ads. A lot of them will be free, and some of them will be, you know, a couple $100.
Awesome. And just so you guys know too, once you get involved with Justin, he does provide a lot of, like he said, you're going to get this course free, and it's things that you would actually have to go out there and pay separately. But once you're one of his customers, he does provide a lot of content, as you can see. So that's awesome. Rich says, I'm not in a place to do this. I'm not in a place to need this yet. How long will this offer be available? He goes, looks pretty awesome, Justin.
I don't know exactly how long it'll be available as it stands, like, you know, getting the free course and stuff like that. But, you know, you'll always be able to come and sign up for our software. We'll always, you know, you'll always probably have some kind of like 14-day trial or something like that. So if you want to come and sign up in 2 weeks or 2 months or whatever, we'll still be here. I don't know exactly what the offer will be at that time, but we'll totally still be around.
Okay, and I do think just Rich, just so you know too, you know, Justin is in our group now, so you can just, you know, send him a direct message and say, hey, I was on the webinar, I'm ready for this now. You know, what's the best? You know, what can you give me? And he'll hook you up probably with the best offer he has going. See, Diane and Tom, they both are asking about the fee for using Optimize.ad. What will be the regular monthly fee after the free trial is over?
The monthly fee is $30 per month. And there's also different tiers based on usage, so it can range from 30 to 130, but most people will probably fall into the $30 range.
Okay, sounds very affordable. Chrissy asks, what is your advice to start out in a very competitive niche?
You know, like all the examples I just showed you were all very competitive niches. Like auto insurance is like the most competitive niche on Facebook, but I still do really well with it anyway. So, you know, just the advice is just the advice I give on the webinars. Test stuff out, you know, because when you look at any competitive niche on Facebook, you'll almost always see that even the guys who are doing the best aren't really doing a lot of testing. Like they're just kind of rolling with the same thing over and over again. If you just test, you're going to beat out like 99% of the competition. just being really diligent about your testing and optimizing and stuff like that. That's going to be key. That automatically, you're going to be way ahead of your game doing that.
Cool. Let's see. Richie says he's asking when you split test a campaign, what is the minimum ad spend per day or customer reach per day that your minimums are to provide a valid data set for split testing?
Depends kind of on the market. So this gets a little bit advanced, because think about, like, let's say you're targeting your ads to 1,000 people versus a million people. So if you spend $20 on ads and you're targeting 1,000 people, you're going to reach the majority of those 1,000 people. But if you spend $20 on ad and you're targeting a million people, you're just going to really reach a very small fraction of those million people. So the bigger your audience is, kind of the more money you're going to have to spend to get a good gauge. Because if you spend $20 and only reach 0.1% of an audience, then the next $20 you spend, you're going to be reaching a totally different subset of that audience, which means that your results may be totally different as you start to spend more money. So think about it like you kind of want to spend as much money as you need to in order to reach a good 5-10% of that audience. So the amount that you spend per test is going to vary depending on how big that audience is.
Cool. Carolina says, thanks, Justin. Great content. I hope your baby comes totally healthy. And Laura says, a Valentine's baby, which would be tomorrow if it comes on the due date, which is awesome. Let's see. Actually, there was a couple people that mentioned that the terms for Optimize.ad are missing, so you might want to look at that. I don't know if it's just on that one page or whatnot. But
let me take a look. I didn't realize.
Take a look and see. While you're doing that, see, Genka says, how effective is, for, let's say, a kid's toy, how much content actually can you provide for this? So specifically, she's talking about a kid's toy market.
Well, I like the kids market. There's a lot of content. I mean, think about, how much. I know my wife. She's been pregnant for 9 months now. She's constantly reading about, and we have another baby, but she's always reading about baby stuff and kid stuff and all blogs and pictures of babies and what's the best crib and there's so much stuff, so much content in the baby market. It's probably one of the best markets in terms of content. If you think about all the different things, the content doesn't have to relate specifically to whatever product it is you're selling. If you're in the kids market, you can write an article about what's the best crib for your baby or whatever, even if you're not selling cribs, because that's the point, unsolicited content where you're not selling stuff. There's a lot of room for kids. It's such a good market. I want to comment too. I noticed this guy Giancarlo said he bought my course a few weeks ago, but the course that you paid $297 for 3 weeks ago, that one's still $297. The thing that I'm giving you for free here is a different course. It's the one on Amazon landing pages. Just wanted to make sure that was clear.
For a minute, it looked like he thought he was getting shafted there. He was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. No, anyone who joins now who wants the lead sync course would still have to purchase that course for the same price.
Okay. Do you want to explain the difference so people know the difference between the two that you're offering here?
Yeah. So we've got a few different courses in our system right now. There's our Facebook lead generation ads course. That's going to basically everything I showed you on this webinar related to lead gen ads. That course walks you through that stuff. And that one is $297. The free course that I'm giving out is the one that shows you how to utilize landing pages. It shows you how to utilize lead pages and ClickFunnels landing pages with single-use codes. So that's another course that we offer that you'll get for free. And Giancarlo, you'll get that for free too. All the old members who bought the lead generation course get it for free.
Sweet. All right. Thanks for explaining that. Let's see. Looks like we have a couple more questions here. Let's see. So Mesh asked, "Hi Justin, how about using a video on Facebook ads? How is that effective against a normal graphic-based ad?"
I love video ads because with a video ad, you can do a lot of selling in the ad itself, and you don't have to send people, to a landing page with more information. You can just sell them right in the ad and drive them to a sales page if you write a good video. So I love video ads. I don't really teach them in my course right now, but we will probably talk about that at some point.
Okay, sweet. Sean asked, how do you retarget them when they go to the Facebook lead ad and not to your lead page?
How do you retarget them? Okay, so the way that you retarget them when they go to your Facebook lead ad, well, you can only retarget them if they've actually filled out the lead ad. So after they fill out the lead ad, then you have their email, then you can retarget them. There's another way that we're working on too that will allow you to retarget people just who see the Facebook lead ad or click it, but that's not we don't have that available yet.
Do you have an idea when that would be something that will be available?
Yeah, it's probably going to be the first week of March. We're releasing another tool the first week of March called Audience Sync that will let you sync and build Facebook audiences based on all kinds of cool stuff.
So I don't know if you guys can notice here, but Justin isn't going to be. This isn't something that he's just selling a software and then he's gone. You're never going to hear from him again. They're continuing. He has a whole operation out there in Austin, Texas, that they're working to continue to make this better and better, more effective. And he's also working with Facebook as well. So there will be continuous stuff to look into that he's providing for free, and then other things that obviously there'll be upsells involved as well. So these are, whenever he can make this better, team can make it better, they're going to be doing that. Which goes to the next question here. Diane asks, how do we get signed up to know when these courses are available?
So the way to do that is register for our software. Even if you don't sign up for the trial, you can just register if you don't want to sign up for the trial, and you'll be on my email list, and then you'll get updates about the courses and stuff.
Okay, and Genka, that he already mentioned that the course after the 14-day trial that we have today offered, that's $30 a month. And if you're interested in the $297 course, I believe that they'll have options for that too, right, Justin?
Yeah. Well, after you sign up for the free trial, it's going to take you to another page where it gives you all the details about the Facebook lead generation course and how you can get into that. I've got like a 10-minute video right there that kind of breaks it all down.
All right, sweet. How is that for timing? There's not too often that we time this correctly. We're at well, my time right now is 8:28, which is Mountain Standard Time, which is 10:28 Eastern, and we are right there. We have no more questions coming in. Looks like okay. Wait, Justin Thomas actually asked one more thing. Hi, Justin. Thanks for the great presentation. Can Facebook ads still be profitable to advertise $15 to $20 products?
I think it totally can, as long as you don't have just one $15 to $20 product. You need to have some sort of, you need to build out a sales funnel, because there's no way that your ads are going to be profitable like on the front end, like generating that first email, getting a sale. But you're going to generate a profit by building out a good sales funnel, building out a good series of autoresponders and upselling people multiple products throughout your funnel. It might take you 6 weeks to see a ROI. But as long as you can learn to understand the lifetime value concepts, then it almost doesn't matter what price your products are. If you can understand how to do email marketing and optimize your lifetime value, any sort of product price will work.
Exactly, and just so you know, Thomas, too, on Tuesday, because Russell Brunson couldn't do Saturday today, we're going to have a webinar with him, and he's going to be talking all about funnel hacks and ClickFunnels. And one of the things that they do really well, and I know there's tons of people that are doing this, we're going to start doing that, is to provide we call it free plus shipping, which is where we can provide them with a cheaper product and give it to them free on the front end, but then make a lot more money on the back end following these funnels that you guys are going to be learning about. So that's going to be talked about later. And the stuff that you're doing, Justin, we can because we're going to be working with ClickFunnels as well. We can directly implement your software with ClickFunnels. Yes. Yeah,
our software works with ClickFunnels. I don't think they even know that, but I actually just released some updates to it last night. But yeah, really easy. Basically, if you wanted to come into our tool and instead of syncing with a Facebook lead ad, you can choose your source as ClickFunnels and sync it with a ClickFunnels landing page. Then every lead that comes through that landing page has a single-use code appended to it. So totally ClickFunnels works, supported in our software.
Awesome, and just lead into that, just so you guys know, that Tuesday, well actually after we're done today, I'm going to provide the link to start signing up for that webinar on Tuesday, and Russell has agreed to give us, everyone that signs up for the webinar is going to get 2 weeks free of ClickFunnels, so you can test it out and see how that works for you as well. Last comment I just want to say in there was from where to go. Celine says, thank you, Justin, for the great information. Wishing you and your family all the best. So yeah, Justin, again, thank you so much for taking the time on an early Saturday morning to present this information. Guys, take advantage of this free offer that Justin has given us. This is something he provided free just as a favor for us, and being on here too was obviously a favor and was awesome to have him in there. So go in there, support him. Again, it's optimize.ad/. Kettner, and we posted that. I'll post that in the Facebook group as well. And then comment on I put everything we're doing here today. By the way, each presentation, I'm putting that into the Facebook group, so you guys can comment. And Justin is tied in there, and he can see all your comments. So just please, say your appreciation to Justin and everything that he's doing for us and our team, and thank him for all that, and wish him all the best with new baby. And Justin, please, whenever I know sometimes it's kind of personal, but when you feel comfortable, post some kind of post or a picture about the successful, healthy delivery of the baby and healthy wife as well.
Yeah, I totally will. And thanks so much for having me this morning. Glad we made it through the whole webinar. No birth yet, so good timing. Maybe it'll happen later today.
Awesome. Well, best of luck with that. Try to get some rest so you are ready, and wish you and your wife and new baby all the best.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Justin. Take care.
See ya.